Okay, hey guys. So this time I got another, the second part of the Vuejs and GraphQL client. Okay, so in this time, okay, let me show you. I like to um, focus on what I want to show. And what I mean that this is almost the same application, and I already show you how to retrieve the data with UAS from a GraphQL endpoint. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to show you how to mutate, how to make your mutations to that endpoint, to that GraphQL server endpoint. So I like to keep things, separated, so I can show you how something works and you just focus on what we have instead of showing you everything. And you might think that some things rely on other parts, and most of the times you can write separated code without any problem. So okay, let's continue. In this case, this application is the same application. This thing is not responding. Okay, I forgot to change that. Let's keep it like that. So, as you can remember, okay, let's go to MLab. We have our GraphQL. Okay, I already tested some posts and to see that if everything was working fine. So yeah, we have our server. This should be GraphQL.GraphQL. So yep, let's go. This is the database. It's using MLab. Remember that MLab uses MongoDB. So let's make a little something here. Okay, so post title, let's say 20, and this is post title number, post title description, let's say number 20. Let's hit send. Okay, and you will see we have this. Okay, because I'm consoling the values. And if we go to post, okay, let's take a look first at the database. Okay, we don't have anything here, only 5. Let's refresh, and we now have 6. Okay, and this is post title 20, and this is post title description number 20. Okay, and if we go back to posts, okay, we get the updated results. So let's take a look at the code. Okay, let's make a little tour. So let's start with that view. I only have here the navigation with the router now, and the fonts that I'm using, in this case, is just Poppins, and the stylings. Okay, these are not scope stylings, so this span through all the application. What else? The welcome page, that is the main page. Okay, has nothing else there. An image, a little header. Now with scope styling. Yeah, the post. Now, if you remember, on the past video about Vue.js and GraphQL, we had something similar to this, well, exactly like this. Okay, well, maybe a little code and a little, difference, but let's recap a little bit. So this is the way we return the GraphQL data. Okay, we import GQL from GraphQL. Remember that. Let's go to package.json and we start a Vue Apollo. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it takes me here. Now I need to click this. Takes me to this page. Just hit get started and installation. Okay, in this case I'm using I install Vue Apollo, GraphQL and Apollo Boost. Okay, Vue Apollo, GraphQL and Apollo Boost. Let's close this. Okay, what I was doing. Okay, so we imported GraphQL from GraphQL tag. We return this post. We return this. No, we're not returning here. We call this Apollo property. Okay, we give it a name that usually is going to be the same name as your query, as the query you have implemented on your GraphQL. Okay, we type GQL and the query, the string query with the word query, and in here this is your actual query that should match what you have on your GraphQL endpoint. I'm receiving ID, name and description, and that's it for now. Okay, so I should be able to remove this. If you watch the last video, I should be able to remove that. Okay, and I still get the same. So because this post is what this post is going to be, okay, not the return post that was there. So in this case I'm looping, I'm saying before post, in this post that is the returning query, and binding the key that is going to be the post underscore ID, that is the one defined with MongoDB. And for each one we create a class post, a div with class post, and we return the post tag name and the post tag description. Okay, that are these little cards. Okay, so that's the first part, and let's go to the second part that we care, that is the actual mutation. So let's go to add post. So you can see we have a little form. Let's say little form that sends the mutation to the GraphQL Node.js server. Okay, we get that console, and when we go back to posts, we get the updated results. Okay, so let's go back to the form. So we do the same. We import GQL from GraphQL tag. Okay, let me show you from the documentation. Mutations via Apollo. Okay, so we added inside the methods. Okay, this is how you are going to update. Remember that with GraphQL, I mean with yeah, the React.js and GraphQL client, we had a little problem with the update, but every time every time React was mounted again, the component, it returned the updated query. Okay, because that query was made when the component was mounted, so in that case we didn't need the update. Okay, and here you will find something similar with Vue.js. Okay, let's go. At least in my example, in this little demo, I didn't need to update. You will I didn't need this this function. Okay, you will see how I updated the application, okay, with the correct queries. So you can see it's a block of code. In this case, we use this Apollo mutate with the mutation and the GQL and the query, the string query that should match or the mutation, or must match the mutation we have, else it will not work. The mutation we have on our GraphQL endpoint. Okay, and we pass the variables. So okay, this is for to update the query and to update the UI with some like not dummy data, but yeah, a fake result instead of waiting to the updated query to be populated. So let's go to the code, okay, and I will show you how I structure this little application, this little mutation. Okay, so in this case I'm returning these two variables, post name and post desk. Okay, those two are empty strings, and okay, that's the first part. I'm going to return these two variables that are going to store the variables from the input and the text area. Okay, so let's take a look at the code what we have here. So when we submit, we call this add post. Okay, that is this method, and in this case, for some reason it will not get this, so I need to call it. I need to store the correct instance of this into this self to be able to call it here. And we prevent the default behavior, okay, that is going to refresh the page. In this case, I'm consoling this post name and this post desk. I'm calling self instead of this, that is the correct instance. $Apollo.mutate. The mutation, you will see that is actually pretty similar to what they got on the documentation. Okay. Okay. We want these two variables, name and desk, to be string. Remember that these two are going to match, these two types are going to match what the GraphQL endpoint is expecting. Okay. We call our mutation. Okay, let me show the stop icons. I'm on the other screen right now. Let me open the GraphQL server and open the code, and let's see. So I can show you what I mean. Okay. So when you create your GraphQL endpoint, you add these type mutations that are going to be able to write, okay, into your server. So in this case, I'm just going to match this create post. You can actually copy this, okay, what you have there, and to add it here. But in this case, you need to add into the mutation the variables you are expecting. Okay, so okay, that's about that. And we add a little comma and variables. Okay, this variables object is what we are going to pass. So this name is going to be this name. Okay, even though it doesn't have the $sign, is this. Okay, it's the same name and desk are the ones here. Okay, so where I'm getting those, I'm getting them from here, and where I'm setting the values, I'm setting the values using bmodel. Okay, so when I type, I'm going to grab the values using the bmodel from both, okay, and store them. View will do it automatically, and when I send the form, I already have the value. Okay, title value and description value. So I already have these ones. Those are already stored here instead of the empty strings. Okay, so we don't have to do anything else there, and we just assign that, okay, to our variables, and it will send the mutation. When we click the submit, that calls this add post method. Okay, so we click send, we clear the form. Okay, just let me remove that. We clear the form using just these two lines of code. Self.post name is going to be an empty string, as same as self.post desk. Okay, just setting those two values to be empty strings that will clear the form, and we get the console because I'm consoling what I have right now. Okay, so after we click this send, the mutation is called, and that's it. We return to posts, and we get the updated information. We go back to mlab, and we can actually close this too. Refresh. Okay, and we got the post there. So about update, if you're going to set, or if you're going to manage your application using routes, okay, you will need to do, or to write this little, okay, what is this? No, it's on posts because I need that on posts. On mounted, okay, let me delete that. Okay, when the component is mounted, you just call this $Apollo queries, okay, the name of your query, and you call, this post is the same as this post, and just call refetch. What would happen if you don't call this? You will not get the updated values when you mount this posts component back. Okay, so from here you will add your post, blah 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 blah, and when you hit send, okay, and you come back to posts, you will not see the updated values, because in React GraphQL client, when we mounted our component, okay, GraphQL called the main query, okay, that it was this one. So we didn't need to make that, we didn't need to write that. But here, did I write I can't remember. Okay, but it's the same. If we want to refetch, or if we want to call back, or make another call, better said, to the query we have, or the query we care to update the values, we just, in this case, we call Apollo queries the name of our query and refetch. Okay, and it will get our updated values. And let me go to Apollo GraphQL. Let me see something about React. Okay, React Native. Okay, let me see that. Okay. Mutations, not mutations, queries. I want queries. Okay. Okay, because we have this query element. Okay. So with this query element, GraphQL will call your query, okay, each time it is mounted. So if you are managing your application with routes, in the case of React, you will get the updated values once you mount back the component that is making, or is making the call to your main query. So in this case, you just need to add this Apollo queries, the name of your query, and refetch to get the updated values. Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, let me close this. So I think that's it. Yeah, if you have any doubt, any comment, let me know. I should add the GitHub repos to the description. Okay, if it's not when the video gets uploaded, okay, it should be there in a couple of days or maybe that same day. But if not, just send me a comment, okay, and write me a comment and telling me that I need to upload that the I need to share the GitHub repo. Okay, so that's it for this video. And if you like the video, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it, and tell me what things I could get better. Okay, subscribe I mean. And yeah, see you on the next one.